Hello everyone and welcome. We're back and today we're going to be finishing off our playthrough as the Netherlands. This series has ended up going a little bit longer than I expected. Realistically, I expected it to be 4 episodes at most. So, it's taken a little bit longer than expected, and in the future I'll most likely cut them down so they're a bit shorter. So we're just going to jump straight into it. And immediately, as soon as I loaded the game, we were actually naval invaded quite severely by the Allies, predominantly by the UK. So we've got 2 landing sites here, with a third one they're trying to land. This landing site here in Calais, most likely we will be able to knock out no problem, whereas this one over here, this is a little bit more concerning. Both of them have a port, which is kind of annoying, but they're not too established at the moment, so we should be able to kick them out. So we're moving our men down to try and close these pockets. If we can't close this one in particular relatively soon, that's going to be an issue, because that, can be a makeshift D-Day from that point. However, I think we'll be able to close it, no problem. We've got our guys heading down now. This one, it doesn't look like they're even going to land, and then this one looks like it's going to be pushed out fairly soon. So from there, we'll just move our guys down, and then we'll take out this pocket. So the Allies have placed a ridiculous number of fighters in northern France. So I've sent back my entire air force to try and maintain green air, because we'll have very little luck closing this pocket without green air. At the moment, I've got around 2,400 fighters in the air, and then we've got another 3,000 from Germany, as opposed to the Allies, who have sent 4,000 fighters. So it's flipping back quite a lot to and fro. As you can see here by the ratios, we're actually losing twice as much as they are. That isn't great. However, the primary reason for that is because I've spent so long teching into my navy that I really haven't teched into my air force at all, so it's heavily outdated. But at the moment, I have no choice. I have to keep them over northern France, so we are just going to lose a lot while we're here. So my original plan was to come here and then set up an air force to bomb Gibraltar, and then launch a naval invasion to control it, and then we could bring our fleet down over here and navally invade from northern Africa all the way down here into the provinces that the Dutch Empire used to control. However, I'm not sure that's strategically the best thing to do at the moment. I've been thinking about it, and I think the easier thing to do might just be to send this army we have here across Africa and take it from the east, and then instead of trying to take Gibraltar, just launch a full-scale naval invasion into the British Isles. I know that's not as cool, and I know that's not as, in terms of reclaiming the Dutch Empire, that isn't, the way, that isn't as accurate, I guess. However, I think strategically, that's what makes the most sense. If we take out the British Allies and we come across Africa this way rather than this way. I hope that isn't disappointing, but strategically, that is what makes the most sense. So I think that's what we're going to do. What we can do is, once we have taken this portion of Africa down here, and, if and when we have Gibraltar under our control, that's when we can launch a naval invasion, take this territory back, and then that will be our launching pad for any kind of American invasion. But at the moment, without having with the British Isles still being in the picture, I think focusing on them for the time being is going to be the best thing to do. Okay, so we are winning the air war at the moment. However, we are taking heavy casualties. As you can see, I am losing so many planes. In one day, I've lost 34 fighters. I mean, I guess it could be worse. I think the only thing, that's slowing that down is the fact, because we were able to maintain air control, they have moved most of their fighters out of northern France, so it is no longer contested. And we are then stopping all of their bombers from being able to do anything. So I think we should be able to take back northern France. We're going to have to send some fighters back over the lowlands, because how many have they got? They got 300 fighters here. So what we'll do is is 400 going to be enough? Okay, we'll send 600 fighters over the lowlands. That leaves around 2,000 still down here. Okay, and now our men have arrived. Okay, not fully, but they have for the most part arrived. So we're going to send the men we already have here to push inwards. If we can take this province here first, then we might be able to encircle these guys and get them cut off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell all of you guys to come like here, take the port. I don't think there's that many divisions in here, but, anything we can encircle is a win. They're trying to invade here again. Seems like this is a really popular spot for them to try and navally invade. Now, will we be able to get it? It looks like we should be able to. There we go. So we've got air support as well. So unfortunately we weren't able to get the encirclement, but we have pushed them back to just the port, so they shouldn't be low supply now. No, okay, I guess they don't have that many divisions still here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hold for the time being, because they shouldn't be able to push out if we have all of our divisions here. We're going to stop some of our oil exports because we don't need it. Now, I think unfortunately I am going to have to step up my conscription law. I know I have the Dutch East Indies manpower pool to use, but at the moment we're starting to lose the control over them, because the more of their manpower you use in your divisions, the higher their war score becomes, even though they're not actually part of the war. And, you know, at the moment, while we did gain control of the Suez Canal, I don't have enough subs to guard every single territory here, so it's still a little bit risky to bring in tons and tons of divisions over here. So at the moment, I think we're just going to have to step up our own conscription law. You know, it kind of sucks, but it's just the risk. You know, the more convoys I have coming from over here, you know, it's just risk that you don't need. So we are going to have to up our conscription law. I mean, it's pretty, you know, it's inevitable. Realistically, it is inevitable to have to up your conscription law. You know, I would say if you're playing without the Man the Guns DLC, then you wouldn't need to, because if you're fascist, you would have got militarism, which in our case, having militarism and military youth, that would have given you about 1.3 million additional manpower, which is huge. But we don't have that, so instead, we're not going to worry. Now we have, our guys aren't fully in control, so we're just going to hold off on that pushing for the time being. Got a lot of naval invasions coming in, very low supply in Egypt, Middle East. Alright, okay, we still have air superiority over here, so I'm going to start spreading my fighters out again. I'm going to want, I think, a good 400 at least fighters back over in Egypt to control this. So these guys aren't fighting with no air support. Okay, and then what I'll do is, can I push you? Okay. If we can push this, that would be great, because it is over a river, so that is going to be annoying if we can't take it, but if we can do a joint attack, that's going to help. Okay, it looks like we've got the majority of our divisions here, so we're now going to push. Oh, it's still risky. We have air support, we have attacking from multiple directions and a decryption advantage. They have air support though. They're quite heavily entrenched as well. Okay, I think what we might have to do is just leave our guys here for the time being. The Germans have stationed a few guys here, so they shouldn't be able to push out. As long as we maintain air superiority, they shouldn't realistically be able to push into us. With Red Air pushing in is, you know, it's really difficult to do. And, you know, if not, just exceptionally costly. So we're going to continue to churn out our Navy, continue to churn out our Air Force. We've got an ace pilot, that's always nice, and it gives you 2% war support, that's nice as well. So at the moment, we're getting a ridiculous amount of naval invasions, trying to land in coastal France. However, I've noticed they don't actually have any planes in the English Channel, so I've just stationed 400 here for the time being, and I'm going to see what happens. Because if they can't get air superiority over the Channel, then they're not going to be able to navally invade. So let's just see what happens. I would imagine what's going to happen is suddenly 1,000 fighters are going to show up here. But for the time being, we're just going to maintain air superiority in the Channel. And that's actually a good sign, because if we can do that, that's going to be huge for us. I think what I am going to have to start doing is I do want to start churning out naval bombers. We don't even have them researched. That's embarrassing. So we're going to churn those out. And then with if we can churn out a ton of naval bombers, that's huge for us. And we might be able to take out the Royal Navy in the Channel, because if we have air support, they can't, you know, if we have air support and bombers and naval bombers, their Navy is going to, you know, it's going to really help us. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so they've pulled in 450 fighters to take back the English Channel. However, at the moment, we're maintaining air superiority. I'm not really sure why, because our fighters aren't very good. So at the moment, the Allies are launching effectively what I can only describe as D-Day level invasions. We've just been getting consistent, heavy amounts of naval invasions to the point where we can't get rid of this pocket. They're launching another invasion over here, and they've launched 2 more successful ones over here. Now, this one here doesn't have a port, but Calais does. Now, we're managing to hold on to Dunkirk, but all of these divisions are about to be encircled. We're going to take U6. You can handle here. Well, then half of you can come off there. Handle that. You can tell when they're really trying to take your territory as well, because they launch a huge air invasion as well. We've got, what, 7, nearly 8,000 airplanes above northern France now. That's huge. So what I'm doing is I'm rapidly just putting out as many planes as we have, regardless of how good they are, just to try and hold them in the air. I really need the Germans and the Italians to put some fighters over northern France, because otherwise I'm really going to struggle to hold it on my own. I've got 2,800. I've got 2,800 of my own fighters alone in northern France, plus some support planes and bombers. But the Allies, you know, I can't compete with that on my own. You've got France, America, Britain, you know, all shoving in as many planes as they have. I can't control that on my own. At the moment, I mean, it's not a good ratio for me either, because the tech isn't very good. Okay, it's gone yellow, which is, I guess, good for us, because it was red previously. We're managing to hold the lowlands successfully, so at least that's something that's not contested. Oh, Christ, we're about to lose Dunkirk. Those divisions are about to be encircled. This is not good at all. They've got the Royal Navy in there as well, so it's not like I can even put my Navy in there, because it's just going to get instantly destroyed. Okay, they've landed as well without a port, but if I can't hold the port, then it doesn't matter, and they're going to walk instantly into that port as well. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is tits up if I've ever seen it. Okay, so I've got my guys moving in, but Christ, they're launching. I think it's because there used to be a lot of German and Italian divisions here, but now they've all pulled out. So I'm really just struggling to hold it. On the bright side, though, the African campaign's still going good, so that's nice. Oh, jeez. Oh, Christ almighty. Those 4 divisions are screwed. There's the evacuation of Dunkirk. It's not. It's happening in reverse. Unless I'm able to hold the channel long enough to get my guys out, but there's 200 enemy ships in the region. What am I going to do? That's more than my total navy. Okay, looks like we're just able to hold this, which is good, but they're going to take that port. So that's bad. Can I just... I really needed the Germans to help station some dudes. Okay, all I need to do is take this province or this province. If I can do that, I'll cut them off from supply and be able to get supply into my guys. So, don't bother being there. Take you guys. Just push into here. How's the air war going? Christ, it's yellow. In the last month, I've lost 143 fighters, while the Allies have only lost 100. So the ratio is evening out, but we're still... I can't sustain those losses for very long. Okay, okay, it was green for a brief moment. I need to just pin you guys here. Alright, we held that. All of you, I need to very quickly encircle these guys. So you come up to the port, hold it, and attack them like here. Right, you come here, here, and then attack. You come here, 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 and then attack. And the rest of you just continually attack to hold them in position. That's 1. Okay, we've got that secure. Once this attack's done, we'll see if we can launch a counter-offensive. Dunkirk is really just not looking good. Just about holding on to air superiority. But we are struggling. Finally! Okay, the Germans have moved 2,000 fighters into northern France. So now air has gone green. So hopefully we should be able to hold it now. That's fantastic. We're going to lose. We've lost them. They're gone. They're dead. Nope, they're not. They're still here. We're most likely going to lose these guys. Is it worth me doing last stand? I mean, we're going to lose them anyway. Oh, we can't even do it. Not enough command power. Brilliant. So, if we lose this port here, then that's just not good. Okay, can I... Let's just test the waters of a counter-attack. 12. Not good. Right, we're going to do that one fine. For the love of God, you need to hold. Okay, I think we're going to hold there. Dunkirk is the only thing that's really worrying us at the moment. And I don't even have the manpower to train more divisions. We did, so we had 24 garrison troops training in the Dutch East Indies. I think I'm actually going to cancel these guys because I'm not going to be able to get them over here. And instead what I'm going to do... What's our Dutch garrison like? So we have Dutch garrison unit, which is 6,000 manpower, and then cavalry, which is another 6,000 manpower. What I'm going to do is I'm going to train... I can't even train because I don't have any manpower. Once we get some manpower, then I'll be able to train some more divisions. Okay, Germany, can I request some troops? No. Man, this is touch and go. Right, we're holding this for the time being. They have 0 supply. As long as we can hold them in the air, we should be fine. Oh, I think the Dunkirk guys just exploded. Okay, we're holding the air. 88 superiority. They've pulled out most of their fighters and left their support planes for some reason. That's good. That means we'll be able to hold them in the air. And without air superiority, this pocket should very quickly get closed. We've held them here. It's just one pocket here. Okay, brilliant. Look, Germany, you've got a tank there. Just come on. Leaving the coast very quickly. You're exposed. Come on, just go on. Come on. They've left a lot of gaps in their line. I'm not sure what they were thinking. Just circle around them, close the pocket, and we'll be good. Okay, it looks like because for some reason they didn't cover their backs, we're going to be able to flank them and knock them out here. In the air war, we're great. The Germans have moved some planes in, thank God. So we're going to be able to take them out here. That's fine. We're stopping all of their bombing runs. So it looks like crisis averted. We've got them over. Our African corps is slowly pushing, but it's kind of slow. We've managed to encircle them around the Dunkirk area. So I just want this closed as quickly as possible. So all of you are going to come in here. And then once they've done that, they're going to help these guys take this. The only reason we won that, however, was because for some reason they decided to leave their flanks unprotected. So we were able to go around them and get the port. If they hadn't done that, it would have been a lot more tricky. And the fact the Germans moved in some fighters to help us. Without that, we would have really struggled. Alright, we need to go back to shoring up our coast. I might build some naval forts as well. We've still got 2 pockets yet to deal with. I don't know how many guys are here, but it kind of worries me, if I'm honest. I wonder, we might see if we can use the tactic of trying to lure them out, because there's no ports around here. Here's the closest one. So if we had a front line, say here, here, and we just wrapped it all the way around here, they could take the entirety of this coast here, spread themselves really thin. That's something I might do. They might fall for it, they might not. Alright, so all of you guys just push in. Eventually they'll run out of supply. In the scramble to protect the airs of northern France, I just put every single plane we had in the air, regardless of tech. So we've now got... Nah, that's unfortunate. So we've now got 400 close air support. Is that it, really? Well, 400 close air support, 4,400 fighters, and 200 bot. I swear... Oh, okay, now I remember. Yeah, I mean, a lot of them did get shot down, which is kind of unfortunate. Okay, we've actually lost air support of the... Oh, they're going to be launching a small invasion here, aren't they? Okay, what I'll do is... Well, actually, no, I'll put all of you here for now. Just because there is no planes in northern France anymore. Oh, not this again. Right, you come here. You come here. Even you guys come up here. And we've closed the Dunkirk pocket. Yes. Okay, that's good. So now we can put things back to normal.